so tell us about your schooling. So you said you were in the States.
I just graduated Berkeley College of Music in
Yep.
Boston. So I was, but well, it took a long time for me to graduate the college because I was working between the semesters, and I was like, I was not really a good student, so I just kept getting fails.
Hmm.
So it took about 6, 7 years to graduate.
Right.
And I'm not like a school person, I would say. I like to learn by myself and um yeah, so I'm not planning any more schools in my life.
That's what I said too, by the way.
Oh, really?
Um, so yeah. So the being a student, it's interesting. Um, I teach at Ohio State, and I've been at Ohio State since 2004.
Uh-huh.
And I frequently talk to my students about, being good students and, doing all the things and um, following the rules and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And but the truth is that although I'm a good enough student to get grades, whatever necessary grades,
Mm-hmm.
I never really considered myself to be a great student. You know, and part of the reason is because my sister, she's a psychiatrist, and she's a great student. so so
Oh.
so I have this sort of um, idea of what a really really good student is, and I've never saw myself as being a great student.
What was
And
her major again? What was her major?
my major,
No, no, her major.
her major, she's a psychiatrist.
Like,
So she went to medical school, and she's a doctor,
oh, okay.
medical
Oh,
doctor, right?
wow.
And you got to be a good student. If you're going to do that, then you got to be a good student. And she's getting A's on everything like that. Um, for me, I did music and all that. Um, my undergraduate degree, my junior year, third year of my undergrad. Um, okay, so let's back the whole thing up. First of all, I didn't want to go to college. I wasn't going to go to college. And
Why
I
did you
was
think that?
say it again.
Why did you think that?
Well, I just I had I was a my first record came out when I was 14, and
Mm.
so I was so by the time I had finished high school, I had like 4 CDs out or something.
Oh my gosh. So you were like a child prodigy, like
Oh,
the kind of
well, I just I was playing with great players all the time, and writing music and recording, and I was like, okay, let me just take this year, because I thought I was gonna get picked up by some touring group or something, and do that, and
Mhm.
that really didn't happen. I mean, I was gigging a lot, and I practiced a whole lot. I was practicing like 8 hours a day,
Mhm.
especially that
Wow.
year that I took out.
How how do you even practice 8 hours a day with the core
Well, see,
instrument?
look, the thing is that the way I mean, not going to school wasn't really an option in my family. It wasn't really an option, but if I wasn't going to go to school, if I wasn't going to go to college, I was definitely going to do something productive. So, so that was part of it, and it gave me an opportunity to, you know, to do more writing and do some more gigging and a bunch of things. But then the second year out of high school, I was like, okay, maybe I should like consider doing something. And my dad made a deal with me. he said, okay, why don't you go to this community college? So I was like, okay, I'll go to this community college. He says, I will reimburse 100% of an A, 80% of a B, and nothing lower than that. So, of course, I got all A's because I was not trying to pay anything.
Wow.
So I took a bunch of general education courses for one year. No music classes, just all general education, still practicing a lot and stuff. And then I transferred into Western Michigan University, where I did, 4 years there. Now, my third year at Western, I was about ready to drop out. I was like, you know what? This is just not, I can't do this. And it was hard too, because I was being offered gigs to go on the road with several artists that came through that were guest artists at that school. And so I was like, man, I need to just take one of these opportunities and just be done with school. So that's the way I was thinking. Right. And so I was like, okay, all right, let me stay in school. Let me finish my undergraduate degree. Once I get done with my undergraduate degree, I'm never going back. I'm done. Just finish out. So I finished, and they offered me a full assistantship to stay to do a master's degree.
Oh my God.
And so then I did a master's degree. So I went straight through and finished my master's degree. So I got tricked into
yeah, you were tricked
into doing another degree. So I was like, okay, I'll do this. So I finished that, and then I certainly didn't think I was ever going to go back to school. I was like,
oh my God, and you did one more?
Yeah. The Dr. Thunder, the doctor is actually a real doctor.
Oh, really? You're a real doctor degree.
Yeah. And so and I finished that degree about 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Or was it 2 years ago? Everything's all blurred. I don't know.
How long it takes to get a doctor's degree? I heard it's like more than 10 years.
Oh, no. It doesn't take that long. It depends on what the degree program is. Most of the degree programs are 3 years.
Oh, and so you're doing undergrad for 4 years and master for 2 years?
2 years for the master's.
And then another 3 years for doctor's degree. Oh my gosh.
Now the thing is that the doctorate for me, it took longer than 3 years. I had a full assistantship, but I was also full-time at Ohio State teaching, and I was working at a church 25 hours a week. And
how do you do that?
Yeah, I honestly don't. And the school is 2 hours away from where I live, and I was driving 12 hours a week just to go back and forth to school.
Didn't sleep at all?
I think that's what happened. Is I think I traded sleep for studying. But I really don't know. I really don't know how that worked. I'm just saying this to say, you say that now that you never want to go back to school. That's what I said.
I can't go back to school, Oh my God, I'm not a school person. Oh my gosh. If I think about school, it's
well, it's like I'm saying, me neither. On the teaching side, it's different. But as far as being a student, I mean, that's, like I said, that's never been, I mean, I'm more of a doer and less of a, like I learn things best when I'm doing them.
Oh,
I
know what you mean. Right.
Yeah. Not like the kind of theoretical, let's sit over here and talk about something over there, but actually being engaged in whatever it is, that's when I learn the best.
Right. Same here. I learn the most when I'm teaching or when I'm writing a music or,
Yep.
I think it's for the most of the people, like, I don't know if, it's hard to learn something from one person's because everyone has a different perspective.
Yes.
So it's hard to, it has to be dedicated if you want to learn something from one person, because you have to get the perspective from that person. So it's a real, I don't know.